Okay, good evening. Today is the council meeting, February 6, 2024. I would like to call the meeting to order. It's after 7 p.m. So we'll call on Councillor Richardson to read the reconciliation.
In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge our meeting place. The City of Flin Flon Council Chambers is situated on the ancestral lands of Treaty 5 territory. We would also like to acknowledge that we also work in partnership with First Nations in Treaty 6 and 10 territories and the Métis Nation.
Thank you. I would now call on Councillor Slip for reading and confirming of the minutes.
06-01, be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held January 16th, 2024 be adopted as received.
Seconder, Councillor Richardson. All in favor? Carried. Councillor Dallas Funk.
Thank you. Check schedule 06-02, be it resolved that the accounts in the amount of $8,771, sorry, I don't know what, I'm still thinking about the previous meeting.
Okay, no problem.
$800,071,721.65 be approved for payment. Well, that was a mouthful today. Thanks.
Okay, seconder. Councillor Slip. All in favor? Carried.
All right. Bylaw 2023-20, new water rates 2025, 2026, 2027, and 2028, second reading. Be it resolved that the bylaw number 2023-20, being a bylaw of the City of Flin Flon to amend the City of Flin Flon water and wastewater rates bylaw 2022-14, be read a second time and passed on second reading.
Seconder. Councillor Richardson. All in favor? Carried.
All right, one more for me. Bylaw 2023-20, new water rates. Oh, it's,
Yeah, underneath.
sorry. Why is it written like that? It should be up here. Bylaw 2024-01, fees, fines, and charges amend schedule A, B, C, D, G, H, and L, first reading. Be it resolved that the bylaw number 2024-01, being a bylaw of the City of Flin Flon to amend the City of Flin Flon fees, fines, and charges. Bylaw number 2023-03 be read a first time and passed on the first reading.
Seconder. Councillor Richardson. All in favor? Carried.
We have people away sick, so this has been last minute.
Okay, Councillor Slip.
Annexation of land 06-05, be it resolved that the City of Flin Flon annex the following land into the City of Flin Flon municipal boundaries. Hud Bay Minerals Incorporated, part of Southwest Quarter Section 6 Township 67 Range 29 WPM. Flin Flon Municipal Airport, firstly parcel 1 plan 4630 PLTO North Division in 65 and 66-28 WPM X all mines, minerals, and other reservations as contained in the Crown Lands Act. Secondly, parcel 2 plan 4630 PLTO North Division in 65 and 66-28 WPM, including Lake Number 1 as shown on said plan. Existley Road Plan 2507 PLTO. Secondly, all mines and minerals and other reservations as contained in the Crown Lands Act.
Seconder. Councillor Dallas Funk. All in favor? Carried. Okay, Councillor Richardson.
I have two, Your Worship. 06-06, pool extension. Be it resolved that the City of Flin Flon request an extension for approval, Flin Flon Pool Project under the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program to March 31st, 2026. Yeah.
Okay, seconder. Councillor Slip. All in favor? Carried.
And then my other one, 06-07, Flin Flon School Division Agreement. Be it resolved that the agreement between the City of Flin Flon and the Flin Flon School Division for a new financial agreement be ratified and approved for signature by the proper officers of the City of Flin Flon.
Okay, seconder. Councillor Slip. All in favor? Carried. And Councillor Slitt.
Granted leave Mayor Fontaine 06-08 be resolved that council grant Mayor Fontaine leave of absence for the February 20th, 2024 council meeting.
Okay, seconder, Councillor Dallas Funk. All in favor? Carried. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Councillor Slitt. Perfect.
Just seems weird.
Okay, with that, we will open up the questions from the press. Yes.
It's probably in here somewhere, but can you be a little bit more specific of what this financial arrangement is with the Flin Flon School Division?
Yeah.
So the Flin Flon School Division has always been a recipient of a portion of the grant in lieu funding. And so then when we reworked the grant in lieu funding with HUD-A, and that would probably be at least a year or 2 years ago now, then we needed to also rework the agreement with Flin Flon School Division. And so we've come to an agreement with regards to a percentage of the grant in lieu every year will be provided to the school division for their use within their budget. And that if there was an increase in the grant in lieu of a minimum of 10%, then we would open and renegotiate the agreement with the Flin Flon School Division.
That's good for me.
That's all?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Eric?
Okay, going off of that, what sort of changes are there in store for, like, in the agreement between the city and the school division? I know obviously there's been agreements in place before, how does this differ from those?
The other one was based on more of a formula with regards to certain things that have been included in their agreement with us. This one is very simple and very straightforward. So we will always know each year exactly how much money the school division will be getting because they will be getting 22% of the grant in lieu. So it's a very simple calculation and very easy for both of us.
Okay, and just so I'm clear on that, like when a city budget is presented and the amount for grant in lieu is presented, is 22% of that or is it 22% on top of that? Like is it a gross or a net that goes into the city budget?
Well, so the city budget actually has two places. There's the part where we talk about the school division in the city budget, and then this city of Flin Flon is underneath. If you go into the financial plan that should be posted on our website, and you look at, I believe it's page 8 in the financial plan, you will see where it actually says grant in lieu for the school division and grant in lieu for the city of Flin Flon. Those two numbers make a whole number, the grant in lieu. And so going forward, that whole number will be 22%. So the number that they show will be 22% of the whole grant in lieu.
Okay, and is there a term on that? Is it indefinite or is it for the next few years? Like what are we looking at?
There's no specified term on that particular agreement. However, the HUD-A agreement itself between the city and HUD-A is the end term is end of 2027, I believe.
Okay. And obviously you said if it goes up a certain amount, presumably by the date that it was signed on, then you can renegotiate with the school division for their cut. Do you expect that to happen or know something we don't or?
I think we all hope that it's positive for HUD-A, and they have been talking more positive recently, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see, okay. Also wanted to check in on the water rates. Any changes from when this was last advanced here at council, and has that had to receive any further approval, like COB or anything like that?
So the reason we did a second reading tonight, not because we have approval from PUB,
Okay.
because they still need to hold a public hearing.
Okay.
But because they went through all the work that we did, and they came back and they told us, so where we had a monthly charge for water to unmetered accounts, so residences for the most part. And it was $140.96 a month. They did the calculations themselves and decided it should be $140.97.
Okay.
And they did that for each of 3 years. So each of those 3 years were out by a penny, and so they made us amend the bylaw.
Well, I mean, as somebody who likes being accurate on that kind of thing, I understand that. So then obviously we're still waiting for pop approval, and it would be somewhere similar to what we're looking at with the, one of the other bylaws that we've mentioned in the previous meeting. Basically, the zoning, we wait for that approval, and then if it comes in, it goes through again, gets passed here.
My expectation is that the public hearing, that the Public Utilities Board will actually have people here.
Okay.
So that the, any comments that come from the community can be made directly to Public Utilities.
Okay. Any shot that they'd be doing that for both this and for the zoning?
Public Utilities Board is just about utilities,
Okay.
so it would be the municipal board that would be about zoning.
Yes, okay. This is, I got my words mixed up. There's a lot of them.
I know.
And I'm not a smart man, so there we go. Annexation of the following parcels of land here. We've got a parcel of Hud Bay and a part of the airport, it looks like. I don't see any sort of map or anything in the package. It could be in there. I've only had like 2 minutes to look it over. What are we looking at for these parcels of land, and what will that mean for the city?
The only thing that it means for the city, because we'll talk about the airport first.
Okay.
So the airport, we already own that land.
Mhm.
And so all we're doing is making it municipal boundaries, so
Okay.
that is within our municipal boundaries. The piece with Hud Bay has to do with the Whitney House, the Staff House, and where they're planning on putting the RCMP station.
Okay.
And so, that will then become within our municipal boundaries as well.
And that parcel, if I remember correctly, the area that they're planning on building at RCMP HQ used to be an apartment block.
Yes,
Was that like provincial housing, or was that owned by HB, or?
that was HUD Bay.
Was it, okay. All right, and so, and considering that you've got that rental agreement in place with Hud Bay for the Whitney House and the Staff House there, does that change any of this land annexation? Does that change any terms with that, or?
No, that will stay the same. We're hoping that once that lease was over, that we would be able to actually purchase, and they only want us to pay $1 anyway, but formally become owners of that property. And so having it within our municipal boundaries would make that a little bit easier too, so. And we don't always understand what it means, but for instance, with the RCMP station, because it's not in our municipal boundaries, while they've been trying to work things out with their builders and their people, they've been asking us for a civic address. We literally cannot give them a civic address because it's not in our municipal boundaries.
Yeah, I think the mail would probably get returned to sender if you just said, over there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what we're all going to call it, but still. Also see that there's some fee schedule adjustments on this. I also noticed in like 30 seconds that I spent looking it over before we got going, which is no one's fault but my own. Usually when I see them like at council, there's a comparison of what they were before the measure and a comparison of what they will be afterwards. I just see a 2024 number in there. So is there anything that like compares and contrasts what it was versus what it will be once it's passed?
I can ask Jane to send that to you. I just didn't realize that was something that she was, I guess Brooke would have been included in the previous ones.
I'll be on that front. I will annoy somebody on that tomorrow morning after coffee. Not gonna do it pre-coffee.
Good sign.
Talking about civic fees before coffee, I think might count as a war crime, so we'll be careful on that. Pool extension on the, on here, for the approval under ISIP program for until 2026. What are we looking at here? Is that, what sort of deadline is this? Do you have to have a pool built by then, or like what are we looking at with this?
We would have to have the pool built by then and the reporting completed, which is actually why we went as far as March 31st, 2026. The current deadline is actually August 2024. And so it's likely that we'll have a pool completed by, I think, 2025, summer 2025. But we have to also be finished all the reporting to the federal government. So we want to make sure we have that time.
And that's a pre-qualification after receiving the grant, right? Like you have to do this in order to stay eligible for funding?
Exactly, like even throughout the grant. So we write a check for an expense, for instance, on building up the pool. And then we literally have to fill out a claim form, prove we paid the money that we said we did, or we were reimbursed from funds from the federal government.
Okay, obviously ISIP being a federal grant, that's one thing. Is there any sort of similar deadline for the provincial money that's been received? And if that's the case, will that be extended as well?
ISIP is federal, provincial, municipal,
Okay,
and so that would be the same deadline for the province.
okay, I figured I'd double check because in your answer you only mentioned, like, okay, is it both or, but either way. All right, and the fee schedules, okay. I will, again, look those up tomorrow morning, once everything's kind of kicking. I think it's, that's it. Councilor Slip, you sound like you need some water.
Yeah, I got water, sorry.
That's, you're, I'm far away, you're not getting me sick right now, we're good.
I'm not.
Yeah,
It's,
we almost didn't have quorum.
it's part of why I'm asking Lynn so many questions so she can like turn to me. Yeah.
To block for you?
I apologize.
Look, it's, you know, I'm always trying to look out for people.
I apologize, the more you try to stop, the more you have
Yeah.
to cough.
Yeah, just be happy you're not on long broadcast when that happens.
I can turn it down, trust Hardy knows I turn it down.
Well, I know, but like you hurt your finger with that cough button. You're here. Anyway, that's it for me.
I do want to say something though, I wanted to welcome Joy
Oh,
to
yeah.
the table. Joy is our Director of Finance and Human Resources, and so she's gonna be sitting in that chair, the old one that I used to sit in.
So then this is essentially the treasurer's position then?
Essentially the treasurer's position, yeah.
What was the official title you said?
Director of Finance and HR.
Okay. Perfect. And Joy, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. I feel like I should probably know this already, but what's your last name, Joy?
Cabot.
Thank you.
Former whisperer, Lynn and Wine.
There we go. You'd be a lot more familiar with that than me, I'm afraid. All good. Perfect.
Okay, yeah, I guess just as on behalf of council, we just wanted to welcome Joy and acknowledge that, just as Lynn did, that she's here joining us, so welcome, and coming to us, I think, from the town of Snow Lake was your last position, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good, so yeah, welcome. And that concludes the press and public portion of the meeting, so now we can turn it over to the gallery. So